Let's start things off by being pretty bold. I think this could be my anime of 2020. I can't say for certain after only 3 episodes, but so far it's one of the best anime coming out now. So I'll do a quick recap / explanation first. If you've already seen it, you can skip to this timestamp on screen. So, Appare-Ranman takes place near the end of the 19th century and is about Appare and Kosame, two men who find themselves stuck at sea after Appare's self-built steamship has its "oh shit go fast" lever accidentally tripped. They're picked up by a massive ship and end up stuck in Los Angeles with no way back to Japan. Appare, the son of a merchant family who's viewed as a failure for his lack of interest in everything but his engineering, is fine with their situation as it puts him closer to the boats and cars he was so inspired by, looking to adventure anyway. Kosame, a man who more closely follows tradition, is less thrilled, trapped away from his loving family and arranged fiancé. Their only option to go home besides working for years to save money? Win the Trans-America Wild Race, an all-out race from LA to New York, and use the $1 million+ prize money to pay for a trip back home. They meet some others with their own goals and stakes in the race, like Jing, a woman who wants to race like her unsupportive male teammates get to, Dylan, an apathetic, buzz-seeking famous racer, and Al, a rich European man who wants to win in an attempt to convince his father to grant him a larger stake in the family business. They also gain the company of Hototo, a Native American boy seeking revenge on his father's killer. After getting a feel for LA, Appare and Kosame agree to race against Al and rebuild the steamship as a car, narrowly winning through very creative means. So yes, now that you actually get to see me, you can see both the terrible quarantine hair and just how white I am. Which, don't know why I decided you need to see both of those, but we keep it real here. Anyway, back on track. Appare is A+ levels of apathy and still deeply interesting despite his purposefully bland personality. They play his disinterest in just the right way, especially against Kosame's more reasonable attitude, to create a lot of natural moments of comedy. With strong writing, you don't need overt, over-the-top personality, and that's very apparent here. With moments like Appare suggesting a man who doesn't need any more workers should hire him because he doesn't want to work anyway, he just needs money, so it's a perfect situation, just pay him. He's very literal and logical, but also in a way where he's openly self-centered. It's more subtle in delivery, and trusts the viewer is gonna get the jokes without a big sign that says, "Laugh at this now, look how funny the faces are," or the likes. Another great moment for this is when the pair sneak into a racetrack so Appare can examine the cars, and Kosame sneaks around looking like this, and making small, subtle, what I can only call ninja noises the whole time he moves. But he's not failing at sneaking. In fact, he's extremely agile and skilled. It's a simple moment to get across multiple points of his character and draw out some laughs in a natural way. It shows he's actually having some fun despite not really allowing himself to show it, kind of praising those stoic ideals. And it's not funny because of some mishap or forced situation, but natural occurrence. It's a lot better than watching someone Paul Blart their way around. It's like a quadruple utility moment, and I love multiple point moments. My Tokyo Ghoul Renee video. This isn't to say there's no anime comedy though, coming mainly from Kosame being a bit of a goofball. But these moments are short, simple, and mostly dialogue paired with simple faces or reactions rather than playing hard to the medium of anime, so there's no immersion distraction or overdone moments. There's even more similar moments, like his unwillingness to lay down his katana, which calls back to its importance as the symbol of the samurai, and also shows his family lineage. If you want even more cool facts like that, you can check out the card on screen for my Demon Slayer video, which jumps into a lot of cool samurai-related facts. Anyway, slight plug aside, let's go ahead and get back into this, because those subtle character moments are very bountiful for Appare as well. He's so focused on his engineering that when eating he takes big bites and washes them down immediately to get right back to working. His eyes are just a hint more intense and focused on when he's talking about his work, and the only time he really speaks up and truly engages with people is talking about mechanisms. He doesn't break his mannerisms, but there are slight adjustments to tip us off to his interest, while also staying true to his literal and selfish personality. And this means when he does smile or speak up, it shows something about how important the moment is. I absolutely love how Appare and Kosame are developed, brought down only by a couple call-out explanations of Appare's character by Kosame and Hototo. Also, for how well their obvious main traits are portrayed, there's also clearly more under the surface. Appare shows a sort of personality cycle, where his literal focus mind is fed by excitement and dreams. We see a book by Jules Verne, From the Earth to the Moon Twice, and Appare expresses his dream to be the first to see the other side of the moon. Plus, despite saying luck is just superstition, he accepts a good luck charm from his sister before leaving. These show that for all his selfishness and literal behavior, there's real and relatable motivations behind it all, which makes him and his obvious technological excitement all the more lovable. The same can be said for Kosame to a degree, as he shows clear skill as a swordsman, respect, dignity, and honor, but also can't quite help himself from being a bit of a goofball like we talked on before. Another plus, at least so far, is the coherence of the anime's messaging. Now, everything has themes, and it would be stale to have the same ones getting repeated by every character, but if they can each bring a fresh take to the same thing, it works out a little better. Appare, Kosame, Jing, Al, and Hototo in some way relate their motives to lineage, tradition, norms, or some of the similar makeups of all three. Appare disregards tradition in his literal and stoic ways, while Kosame is deeply engrossed in it, carrying on what some would call dead traditions. Jing wants to break norms and become a female racer. Al seeks to break free from a family that views him as just the youngest son, and Hototo wants revenge for the theft of his tradition and lineage in the murder of his people. I think these topics are less well addressed outside of the main two, with limited time and worded heavy explanation, but they're mostly relatable, lessening the burden to develop them. Almost anyone could relate to wanting to break a norm or be something their parents don't want for them. Jing could easily take over her family business and live a simple life, but she wants to do the impossible and be a woman racer. But at the same time, she says that Appare winning his race with Al will be impossible. Appare turns this around on her a little bit, kind of asking why she says that that would be impossible if she wants to do the impossible herself, and that what's actually impossible and what people think of as impossible are two very different things. Later on, Kosame muses about his take on her feelings, with his skills being focused on arts of a bygone era. He relates to her in the fact that what he's doing, a lot of people say he should really just let go and move on. And then Appare wins his race with Al right in front of Jing. As if to say, impossible, really? Everything feeding back into the same pot means everyone's actions can strengthen the others. So I think this cohesive topic is a smart play, especially in a time period where difference could often be physically punished. And it's clear that Appare's unique take and goals will have an influence over the others, making a connected web of theme rather than a sprawling, yet shallow take that we often see. The majority of my notes are in those two areas, the subtle yet effective development in comedy, as well as the related/relatable messaging. I like that the focus is kept on what matters. It's linear, simple but not boring, and generally captivating with its small details bolstering it up. Appare mumbles about technical specifications while he works. Kosame's swordsmanship skills amaze his foreign audience. Background characters in establishing shots stare at Appare's unique work, and his genuine-looking sense of wonder at the new world around him, and many other details that pulled me in and just kept me there. Plus, as an engineer, albeit sometimes begrudgingly, his interest and focus felt natural to me, especially his interactions with other tech-minded individuals. And his reasoning with features, how he knows that this only needs to work once, so build it to just work once and do it as good as it can in the limited time you have. That's something that I've had to do before when things get down to the wire, so I related hard. Now, the period accuracy, subtlety, and naturality are broken in ludicrous ways, but only in relation to the racers or racing. So rather than detract from immersion, it bolsters the event up as something even more special in this world. Plus, some sort of wonder is needed, and a mix of realistic technology, outlandish features, and hulking steampunk mechanisms is pretty appealing. The first race makes it clear that Appare has tricks up his sleeve when he launches part of the, car ahead with Kosame to reach the finish line first. I mean, who knows what could happen next time? As someone who generally dislikes outlandish anime, this is a big deal for me. It's just the right level of fun, where it ceases to feel out of place if it's too realistic, and rather stands out as something unique and, well, again, just straight up fun. One thing that I think could get negative, though, is the very distinct designs. Now, I love Appare's design for how weird it is. I think it's the perfect match for his personality, and it's distinct yet utilitarian way. His hair is big and messy, but only because he probably can't be bothered to cut it or manage it, and his clothing has a sloppy shirt and overalls for the same reasons. So I like it, but this has potential to go over the top fast in a lot of characters. Caricature-like designs can be dangerous territory, and with serious subjects like the slaughter of Native Americans, and possibly more serious ones later, there is some care needed in making sure nothing goes from reflective on the character into overt stereotype. But I'm more hopeful than not that this will be handled in a decent manner. Overall, this will be one of the few times I keep up with something weekly, rather than chunk or whole season viewings at a time. It's natural in character, theme, and comedy, with its main action of racing boosted up by some choice ridiculous elements, and just one of the most entertaining non-serious anime I've watched in a long time. You'll fear for the characters, laugh at the most subtle and overt things, and I strongly suggest going and giving this a watch. Plus, Appare is the best boy. It's official. There's no other better boy. End of discussion. That, even though I started the discussion anyway, it's over. So that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed my mad scientist anime reviewer look. Maybe I should just get a lab coat and make that my thing and keep the crazy hair. But who knows? You know who knows? You know. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you want to see down in the future, whether that's more of these videos, more discussions, more comedy, or if you want to let me know what you thought about this video, or just tell me I'm an idiot. I appreciate all the comments I get down below. Also, consider leaving a like to let me know you liked it, or subscribing to stick around for more great anime content in the future. Also, if you want more anime goodness right now, you can check out the videos on screen now. Anyway, I'll stop rambling, let you get back on with your day, and just say thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Probably talking about this again in the future, because it's pretty fucking good.